A successful retro standard motorcycle balances nostalgia and performance, style and rideability. Now, 54 years after the first V7 and 13 years after the first modern recreation, Moto Guzzi has released the fourth generation of that modern iteration of the V7 with an all-new engine and chassis. With iconic styling and all of the quirks and character that Guzzi is known for, the nostalgia is there. But has the classic-styled bike's performance been updated enough to stay competitive with this quickly growing genre of motorcycles? The biggest update in this model is the new engine, designed to meet Euro 5 emission standards and drawing on elements of Guzzi's previous V9 and V85TT but unique to this model. Overall design of the engine is not radically different from previous versions of the bike, maintaining the 2-valve per-cylinder pushrod configuration. Thanks to the new larger displacement, we see a 25% increase in power over previous models, a claimed 65 horsepower at 6,800 rpm and 53.8 pound-feet of torque at 5,000 rpm. The crank has been rebalanced, and friction has been reduced to limit the torsional rotating effect so present when revving previous V7 models. That pull to the right while revving is still there, for the nostalgic. It's just reduced to a minor sway rather than a tug to one side. Power output of previous V7 models was notably underwhelming, so the increase in engine performance is something that we welcome eagerly, as it makes the new bike a much more capable machine. Most of that power comes on after the 3,000 rpm mark, but the engine produces tiring vibration through the handlebars at the same time, yet does not smooth out until it reaches peak torque at 5,000 rpm. The cable-driven throttle provides a direct, connected feel, but fueling is abrupt with the initial twist. It takes slow, precise throttle application to achieve smoothness. The clutch lever is springy and the feel is very vague, making it hard to detect the engagement point based on your hand alone. The combination of abrupt fueling and lack of clutch feel can lead to a bit of lurching, especially if you have the traction control switched off. At one point in our test ride, I was carving through some mountain roads while staying in the higher revs above 6,000 rpm, near peak horsepower. I closed and reopened the throttle quickly and was greeted with a pulsing effect from the fuel injector that upsets the chassis. Thinking it may have been a fluke, I tried this on 3 different motorcycles and found that it was consistent and repeatable. Guzzi has developed a new chassis to house the new power plant, though it's a similar tubular steel layout with similar weight distribution to previous models. The rear shocks are larger with longer travel, and the swing arm is now larger and reinforced,